We have a special guest sliding in. He's the Bellator Bantamweight champion of the world. And on May 17th at Bellator 303 in Paris, he will defend his title in a rematch with Magomed Magomedov, who he put to sleep on this reign of terror. Let's welcome in Patchy Mix. As Luke said, maybe the best bantamweight we have in this world today. Patchy, this run you are on of late, this 6-fight win streak, but really the last 5 in particular, you're a different man. You're super elite. I have no idea where your ceiling actually is, which has got to be a great place to be when you hear us keyboard warriors always try to break down your game. How'd you do it? How you feeling right now on top of the world?
I feel great, man. I'm on top of the world, like you said. I feel like I'm breaking in. I'm tapping into the diehard, the people that really know the sport. They're kind of seeing, how special I am. It's not just this last 6 fights. I've had I think 31 between amateur and professional fights, and I've won 30 of them. I'm 1 round removed from winning, every fight I've ever been part of. So, I think it's, a testament of just the years of, I've been putting in work so long. And, right now I feel like, it's my time. 2 weeks, I'm going to put this guy to sleep again, and I'm going to punch that record to 20-1.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's talk about the shirt right there, Patch. Look at this. The GOAT on there. That's a message to us, isn't it?
Yeah, man. You got to support. Tatiana actually got me this shirt, so, I wanted to rep it in the interview. I like it. So.
All right, I want to ask you one more here about your startup here. PFL absorbing the Bellator roster. You're in the Bellator International Championship Series. We'll see you in Paris, as I mentioned. How has that transition process been for you as a champion fighter? And were you kind of given the opportunity to pick your lane in terms of PFL having, I guess, 3, 4, 5 different sort of divisions underneath their banner?
Yeah, I didn't really get to pick my lane because for a bantamweight, they don't have 135-pound division. So I didn't get to get a super fight similar to the other divisions. And I didn't, obviously they went to Saudi Arabia and they did an event there. So I didn't get a chance to go there. And obviously I'm not going in the tournament because they don't have bantamweight. So I stuck with Bellator, in my own lane over here and just, decided to defend my belt. And it just so happened it was going to be a rematch against the number 4 ranked guy in Maga because he's coming off a win himself.
Patchy, to what extent are you excited for this bout? I've noticed that one thing that's happened with a lot of the Bellator guys, especially like you, the elite ones that came over, a lot of rematches happening. How do you feel about it?
A lot of rematches, man. I've seen it. I think Liz Carmouche rematched that other girl for the 3rd time. Yeah, there's 4 or 5 rematches I've seen. So, I wasn't sure what to make of it, but, I make champ money. So, I'm just excited to fight. And I'm looking at it as a complete different fight. I think Maga was one of my hardest fights that I've ever prepared for. I was very nervous going into that fight. And now I just look at it as a whole new fight. And I have a chance to show off a lot more skills that I've been working on. I think when I fought him 18 months ago, I feel like, I'm a lot better now. So I'm very excited to show my arsenal. I think we only fought for 7 minutes, We got a, fresh 25 minutes here, and I'm coming out guns blazing, everything.
Is just because I'm curious, is 145 a possibility for you?
Yeah, 145 is a possibility. Whatever kind of excites, whatever excites the fans, whatever excites me, Obviously, I'm going in this division, and I'm on my way around it. I'm going to lap it. I fought everyone in the top 5 already. So, after this rematch, I don't know what's going to be next for me. And, I could see 145 in the future. I know Patricio Pitbull has the belt up there. I could see, obviously the last guy I just finished has a win over him, 5 rounds to nothing. I could see myself going, maybe, there's other PFL fighters at 45 over there. Braga just got a nice win. Pineda won the tournament last year. Let's see how Brendan Loughnane does this year. There's some big, there's exciting fights for me everywhere, so definitely at 135 or 145,
So here's one of my questions. When I watch you compete, especially after that run you had to win the tournament, I was like, dude, this guy, I mean, if he's not the best bantamweight, I mean, this is just absolutely obliterating people. And like when you do something like that, your mind as a fight fan begins to think like, what's possible? Let me ask this question: has PFL or anyone who works in the Bellator situation currently, have they laid out a vision for you how they see your year or next 2 years going?
No, more so my manager does that, Ali. I guess with everything being so new, I don't really have I've had my vision for the last previous 2 years. It was to win the Grand Prix. It was to, viciously knock out Rufián Stotts. It was to win the undisputed belt because I knew Sergio had it. So now I don't really know my vision right now. I guess it's just I already have the most finishes in bantamweight history. I have the most submissions in bantamweight history. I'm just going to add to my list. I want to defend this belt, as many times as I can and finish anybody that they put me across from. So, I guess Ali's, the one to really create my my landscape over the next year, who I'm going to fight or, where I'm going to go with this.
It's a beautiful backdrop behind you. What state are we catching you
It's Las
in?
Vegas, right? You're
in Vegas,
Extreme
man,
Couture.
Yeah, I live in Vegas right now, man. Yeah, so I'm just in my backyard hanging out. I got a couple sessions in a little bit, and I leave for Paris in 11 days. So, it's the end of my camp now.
Well, I mentioned we always knew of your dangerous ability, your submission game, but man, this streak, when you go through Gallagher, Horiguchi, you put Magomedov to sleep, you flying knee Stotts. I mean, you took out Sergio Pettis. It's like, damn.
Yeah, bro.
Sometimes you look back on that though, Patchy, and there's like something changed along the way. Did you change training? Was there a mindset change? Was there anything that really helped fuel this?
Yeah, so like I guess just money and being able to once I got in the Grand Prix, I was fighting in Bellator for not crazy money. I fought for the title. My first fight, I came up short. I actually took that fight on like 3.5 weeks notice after he had pulled out the first fight because of COVID. They rebooked us. I kind of wasn't ready. I took the fight. That's how I ended up getting my first loss, and I had to go back to making just like contender money, and it wasn't a lot, it wasn't crazy money. So when they put me in the Grand Prix, and I actually had met Tatiana prior to that, and I just took like fighting more serious, because the opportunity, to make millions of dollars was, huge. And I took it and I just went all in, kind of trained like a part-time fighter for a lot of fights, not part-time, but just not all the way all in. I was probably like 80% in. So I just kind of changed my life, and I took off from Buffalo. I moved to Las Vegas. I stopped doing camps at places. I just came strictly here and, changed my life to training every single day. I don't do training camp anymore. I just train like this for the last 3 years. And I think that's what changed it. But, these special victories and all this stuff over the last, my couple, four or five fights, I really don't even think that's like, the people that really truly know me, they see me in the gym, man. I compete with the world's best from 135 to all the way up to 170. And every single person that's ever seen me compete or train, they know I'm the best in the world at 135. It's not even a question. I feel like the only two people that are up there could be is me and Marab. We did a fight simulation of 5 rounds last week, 5 fives in a row. I think that me and him are at the top.
Wow, how'd you deal with that cardio? I mean, that guy's got gas
a lot
tanks.
of cardio.
Yeah, we both got a lot of cardio too, So I'm looking to show that. I'm looking to show that in 2.5 weeks myself. I finish a lot of guys, but when I'm prepped and I'm ready, I could go for 10 rounds. So I'm excited to show, the evolution in my my own game and just prove out, I feel like my statistics, my stats, they speak for themselves, but I'm just looking to add to that. And 20-1 with 16 finishes. I've barely ever lost rounds. So I'm just looking to I'm going to be a 3-time world champion in 2.5 weeks in Paris. And I'm bringing my my girl, my entire family, all my friends there. So I'm excited for the show. It's going to be my show, Bellator 303. It's going to be surrounded by me, around me, and being the main event now, rightfully so. I feel like, it just has to be a special performance,
Sure. Yeah. Usman Nurmagomedov pulling out of that. So now you're the featured bout for sure. You mentioned Tatiana Suarez, your significant other, and you mentioned that as sort of meeting her, developing that relationship being a big part of your career. When you get two alphas, when iron sharpens iron, not just in preparation, but in the day-to-day mental, what advantage is that?
It's a huge advantage. She's an Olympic athlete, one of the best wrestler ever to grace, I think women's MMA. So, being with her is, the training regimen, the discipline, and, more so like the mindset is, I try to take those qualities from her, and, she supports me through, my good days and training, my bad days of training, even outside of training, she supports me through my life. So it's important, I feel, to have someone like that, being a champion myself, I feel like she's already, if it weren't for her injury, she'd be a multi-time world champion already. And without a doubt, she's going to be the UFC world champion. So, just having her support and, being able to work together with someone like that, it's a huge advantage for me when I feel like my preparation, getting ready for these bouts, getting ready for these fights, I feel like, my last 3 fights, I probably could have done those all in a night, I think there were like 3 rounds, total or something, 15 minutes total. So, I think like, the team that I surrounded myself around, and not just that, but my significant others, obviously, the huge support system that I have helps me perform.
Yeah, Luke, she's going to be a problem for Whaley. I want you to know that.
I have no doubt.
I want you to know that.
No, not a single doubt. Patchy,
yeah.
What would you say in the last 3 years has been, when you assess your own game, what has been the biggest area of development? I'm not saying the best part of your game, but the one that's made the biggest change.
The biggest change was leaving Jackson Wink and then kind of coming out to Vegas. And at the end of my tenure at Jackson Wink, I think I was like 7-0, and then I fought for the Bellator world title out of Jackson's. I was 7-0 with 7 finishes or something in a row, and I fought for the title. And I was just like a grappler that could only kind of grapple. I never really developed my striking. So then I moved here. Right before I had moved here, though, for my world championship fight, I worked with Six Gun Gibson, and I was developing right then and there. Like for that camp solely, it was a short one. It was just a couple months I was able to work with them. But when I moved here, I stuck with my, my development and my striking and my overall game. And I just trained like a madman. So now, like, I just don't, I'm world class on the ground, but I'm world class on the feet too. I light up lightweights, that are fucking world class. I light up a lot of, a lot of people. So I think the development in my overall game, blending the striking with my grappling, and then also like, taking my grappling to the next level, training with like Mikey Musumeci, Nicky Ryan, J Rod, all these, Hanato Canuto, Andy Varala. I train with the world's best in jiu-jitsu, and I scrap with all these guys. I'm one of the world's best in jiu-jitsu too. So it's like having these outlets to train with all these, the top level grapplers and fighters. It's just, Las Vegas has changed my life over the last 3 years, and I've really been able to take advantage of all the sessions, man. I could get, 3 or 4 sessions every single day, Monday through Sunday, except Saturday probably, and I can pick and choose where I want to go. And, it just helps me develop.
By the way, you mentioned a couple B team guys. Do you go to B team, or does the B team come to you?
No, they were in Vegas just recently for, the ADCC trials.
Yes.
But I speak with, I'm real tight with Damian Anderson. He's one of my boys. And big shout out to Damien. And then I got in with Nicky Ryan. He spent a week out here, and I roll with him every single fucking day. This kid's nasty, man. I love chopping it up with them, rolling with them. And he's like great mind, great coach for jiu-jitsu. So those guys were out here, and I plan to actually go do some training out with them guys now that they spent some time here, and I got to pick their brains because I learned so much shit from them. And then also Mikey Musumeci was out here. He was training in Ali's class, and that guy, he blew my brain. You know, my mind was boggled just how much stuff he knows. I mean, he's like very light. I think he's the number one ranked grappler at 135 pounds in the world right now. But you know, he's a monster. He's like the Gordon Ryan of bantamweight. You know.
All right, so one more from me here, if I may. I have a very high opinion of your game. I think you might already be the world's best bantamweight, but just do me a solid here. If I told you today we're going to make a fight between you and current UFC bantamweight champion Sean O'Malley, how do you beat Sean O'Malley? What would you do?
I mean, do you see how Peter Yan? I think he was like 4 for 6 on takedowns, kind of broke him down, pressured him. I feel like truly, I don't think he'd last probably 10 minutes with me. You know what I mean? I'd pressure him, I put him on his back foot, and I'd take him down, and I'd smash him, and I'd break him. And if I didn't do that, I mean, we're talking about the knee he landed on Chito Vera. Look at the knee I landed on 19-1 Rufián Stotts. You know, I took his lights out in 1 minute. I found the timing. I could understand the range. I could understand the distance. You know, I just truly feel, you know, I think I'm in a different league than that guy, and I think I'd finish him. You know, look at our stats. You know, look at who he's fought. Look at who I fought. Look how many rounds I've lost. Look how many rounds he's lost. You know, I just, you know, I'm 1 round removed from 31-0, and that guy's not the guy to beat me, without a doubt.
I love the confidence right there. Okay, a couple more, and then we'll let you out of here. Should we put respect on like the greater Buffalo, Niagara Falls area, the producing you,
Rashad
John
Evans?
Jones, Rashad Evans, among many others. And also, I've been to Rochester a few times. You take down a garbage plate? You move over there and maybe take one down, you know, little
yeah, I know the garbage plates. I don't fuck with those, but
that's why he looks that way and I look this way, right? Yeah,
right. Not me, but Rashad Evans went to the same college as I did. You know, I wrestled at the same school as he did for a year actually, and then I pursued MMA. I think Jones was from you know, a couple hours away from where we're from. But yeah, man, it's cool to see. Billy Quarantillo is actually from an hour from me.
Hell yeah.
You know, he's from right there too. You know, he's one of my boys. I trained with him probably 6-7 years ago coming up. So it's like, you know, definitely respect on the name. We got Josh Allen, you know, the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. You know, he's the pride and joy of our probably of our city right now. But they definitely got to put respect on, you know, I think my name, Bellator champion, you know, coming out of Buffalo, New York. You know, I feel like there could be more, you know, more love from the city.
Patchy, you just need to jump through a fiery table in the Bills
Mafia
parking lot, and then you'll get it. All right, let me close.
I do that with the Bellator belt on. I don't know, man. You know, they might love it. They might love it.
Let me close with this, Patchy. I've never interviewed before and always wanted to, but we have talked one time before. I doubt you remember it. Do you remember the High Rollers when you took on Tim Elliott?
Yeah, we were there. We met you.
And you won in like 40 seconds.
I remember meeting you guys. I don't remember it, though.
Well,
you know, I remember,
let me tell
you guys there, though.
Patchy, they're passing around those gimmicks, those joints.
No. They were passing around pre-rolls.
I know, and they're like, Luke's got 18 of them in his pocket, and the whole building is filled with smoke, and it's the greatest night of our lives. And you walk by, and I'm like, Patchy, tap that motherfucking ass. And you looked at me as if I had 8 heads, and I deserved it, Patchy. Yeah. So sorry to break your concentration. In that
it was awesome, man. You know, I didn't like that little weasel Tim Elliott either, so I was glad to choke him out. You know what I mean? I was super glad to choke him out for some reason. I don't know why. And he keeps commenting about the Archuleta rematch, you know? Should bring him to Vegas and choke him out to get a little kid.
Did you, Jose, did you have a contact high? Because I had a fucking contact high when I walked in that place.
I think I honestly smoked a couple of joints before I choked that little kid out.
We could have been hanging with this guy a long time ago.
What the fuck are we
doing?
Man,
we could have. 100%.
There he is.
All right, next time we're in Vegas, we're going to make something happen
for you.
You
guys hit me up.
All right, your career might end with a Bellator title, PFL title, and $1 million, and a UFC title, maybe?
Possible?
Man, I want all the titles. You know, I could get, you know, I could be the first male, I think, to get the 3, I guess. But, you know, just right now, I got the Grand Prix belt, the interim belt, the undisputed belt. So I got 3 Bellator belts in there. I want to get my 4th belt. I think they kind of reconfigured it now with PFL and the Bellator. You know, if I seen it on their last event in Ireland, so I want a new belt. You know, that's 4 belts in about like 13 months or something. So I'm happy.
There it is. We'll see you May 17th, Bellator 303 in Paris, the rematch with Magomed Magomedov. Patchy Mix, thank you for the time, man.
Thank you, Patchy.
Go kick some ass. You know
Thank
what I'm
you guys,
about?
bro.
Yeah.
I love your support always, guys.
We have a high
is.
opinion of you. We expect big things.
It's not just because we're high. That's Patchy Mix
Yes.
right there. All right.
Thank you, brother.